Before we get to the video, I just want to let you know that I actually make a podcast. It's called the Dear Download Podcast. I co-host it with my very good friend Adam Cox. We discuss Download Festival itself, other festivals, news, or anything related to the music industry. I've put the link to our Spotify in the description, so please go and check it out. And now, on with the video. What's up, dudes? So we're back with another video. Thank you very much for watching this. I can't believe I haven't done one of these since 2019. That is actually madness. But obviously all this stuff has happened in the world. I haven't even thought about doing one of these until there was a proper download. I didn't do one for the pilot. I didn't do one for Bloodstock. But yeah, I had a look back through the old one yesterday, and I really think that I can give you guys some tips and some great essentials I want to bring. This is my 13th download festival. It's going to be this year in 2022. A ton of other festivals. I've learned so much from going, so many tips and just essential stuff that I think that could really help people out, especially if you're not that experienced when it comes to a festival. I wish when I started going to festivals, there were people doing these sorts of videos, tell me what to bring, because for the first like 3 or 4 years, I was terrible at bringing what I needed and just borrowed everyone else's stuff. So I feel good now that I can bring pretty much everything that I need. I don't really look at my list and go, oh, there's something I've missed out. And if there ever is, I always just add it on for next year. So yeah, so this is just I'm gonna throw some tips in and some essentials of what you need for a festival, mainly from download experience. Okay, the first thing you should definitely bring, and I know it sounds stupid and it will to a lot of people, but your ticket. You have to make sure that that is safe and that you bring it with you and you keep it in a place that you remember and you don't lose it. I know people that have turned up without their ticket because they forgot it at home, and people that have almost lost it on the way into the festival. So keep it in a like a really safe place, or somewhere on you or in your camping gear that you definitely know where it is at all times. I always have it on me, and I'm always like checking it every like 10 seconds to make sure I've still got it. Now obviously that will change in the future. Some festivals now but don't even send you tickets, you get e-tickets, so that is slightly different. But if you still have paper tickets, which they still do for Download Festival, I'm sure at some point that will change completely to e-tickets. But if you've got a paper ticket, just remember, keep it somewhere safe and make sure you bring it with you. If you've got like a 3-hour journey, you do not want to be doing that again. So yeah, make sure you bring your ticket.
Shh, look at that thing. Nature is amazing.
Another great thing to bring with you is a decent tent. Now, I know that if you're camping, obviously you will bring a tent unless you're staying in someone else's tent. But I think doing a festival so long in those really terrible single layer, tiny 2-person tents. And now if you've got no money, that's fair enough. If you're still living at home, you got no cash, or, you just don't earn that much money, you bring what you can. This is more for the people that can afford a decent tent but choose not to get one. It's worth it. You won't believe, if you've never been before, how cold a British festival can get in the evening, no matter how hot it is in the day. And waking up when it's all condensation on the inside, if you've got a double layer tent, you won't touch it. The worst thing ever is when you're fast asleep or half asleep and you roll over in a single layer tent and all you touch the side, and then you are just soaking wet. Plus, for all other types of weather, from rain, hiding from the sun, honestly, getting a decent tent is one of the best things I've ever done at Download. As soon as I done that the first year, I was like, yes, this is so much better than the last 6 years that I've done in this terrible 1-layer tent. So a decent tent, if you can afford it, is a must. There's loads of good cheap ones on sale. I think we got the Sendero 4 tent, which I got from Go Outdoors, and it was on sale for like, I don't know, it was 150 quid, I think, and originally it was £300. So if you go a couple of months before, obviously leading up to the festivals, they get more and more expensive. But like now, it's like 5 weeks away from download. If you go on now, you might be able to get a really good tent for much cheaper than you would have before. So yes, decent tent is a must. A really decent sleeping bag is a definite essential. I made a massive mistake at the pilot. In our loft, we obviously had two red sleeping bags. So there was one that Vicky had from ages ago that obviously isn't that much of a good sleeping bag. Then one that I bought, which is like a really nice, I spent quite a bit of money on it. And I brought the wrong one. So throughout the whole pilot in the evening, no matter what we done to try and huddle up, I was freezing my bollocks off the entire time. So it really is worth it that you make sure you get a decent sleeping bag. Nothing worse than just being freezing cold, waking up in the night and being like, oh my God, this is horrendous. And then, of course, you always have the opposite where you wake up in the morning and if it's boiling hot, you need to get out of the tent ASAP, but you can't help that. But yeah, I think a decent sleeping bag, the best one you can afford with your budget. They're really not that expensive from places like Millets or Go Outdoors. I'd say just walk around any of those and you'll probably find something half decent that you can get for pretty cheap. So yeah, definitely decent sleeping bag. Get it. You will not regret it. Right. One of the most essential items, especially for a British festival. And if you're watching this video and you've been to many, I'm pretty sure you already know what I'm going to say. A pair of wellies. I made the stupidest mistake I've ever made at a festival when I went to Download 2016, not having gone in a few years, thinking that I was fantastic for only bringing my walking boots. And as it turned out to be a complete drown load, completely destroyed my shoes even before I'd bought a pair of wellies. So a pair of wellies is essential. I mean, listen, you could just leave them in the car or leave them in your tent or whatever if you're not going to use them, but bring them anyway, because if the festival is rainy or horrible or anything like that, you will not regret bringing these wellies with you. Just make sure you bring them. If you don't use them, even better. I'm praying for a good download this year, but you never know. Always have them on hand. You can pick wellies up for literally next to nothing and they will literally save your existence, because if you don't wear wellies, you will feel horrible. So yes, wellies, out of most of this list being in a British festival, is one of the most essential things. So please bring a pair of wellies with you. Hopefully you won't have to use them, but if you do, they're there. So perfect. Wellies. Do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Okay, Simon's festival tip number 1. Do not bring all of your stuff, all of your camping gear, beer, whatever, at once from the car to your campsite. The first journey is always the worst, so take a minimal amount of stuff. Take your tent, a chair, maybe one case of beer, basically everything you need to set up your camp. Everything else you can leave at the car and go and get it whenever you want. It's just all about getting your spot in the camping. So bring the bare essentials, bring a couple of beers. That's what I do. I go there, we bring our tent, we set it up, we bring the chairs, we sit down, we have a couple of beers. Do you know what I mean? Get all excited about actually being, and then we say, do you know what? We better actually, before we get too drunk, we better go and get the rest of the stuff. So you don't feel like you're lugging it all at once, and even just going there, dropping your stuff, doing it quickly, and then going straight back. You don't need to do that. Once you've pitched your tent, you have your space. No one's going to move your tent, most likely. Nothing's really going to happen to it. So just after that, take your time, go back to the car whenever you want, and just make sure you do not kill yourself getting all your stuff there. Obviously, if you guys are traveling on the train or the coach or anything, then you know exactly what you have to do there. You take a less amount than you would if you had a car, but unfortunately, you can't leave your stuff anywhere. I've done train and bus to download before, and you just pack a little bit less because you can't. You have to lug it onto the train, you have to lug it onto the coach, you have to lug it from the coach station to wherever you got to go on the shuttle bus, and the shuttle bus to your campsite. So those people, I understand you kind of have to kill yourself, but you would pack slightly lighter. So yeah, just that's a massive great tip. Trust me, it saved me so many times before. I was lugging all my stuff and then I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I just killing myself? We can go back to the car anytime we want. So yeah, do not lug your stuff all at once. Trust me, you will thank me for it. So please just don't do it. Baby wipes. Baby wipes or any kind of face wipes have saved me through every kind of weather at download. If it's really sunny and it gets really dusty, it's good just to, wash your face and you can see how much like dust comes off of it. Back in the day, download was fantastic weather. Not so much anymore, but you know, these things would literally save your life because your skin would just be so dry. You'd need to just wipe it with wipes. It works for mud. You know, I've cleaned my shoes. We've cleaned the tent with it before. If your tent gets really muddy. And obviously they're just great for cleaning yourself and yeah, just keeping you sort of smelling nice. If you're not the sort of person at download that is going to use the showers, I think baby wipes is the best option. Especially if you get I get the like baby melon ones from Lidl, and they are banging. We use them all the time, but at download they're definitely a lifesaver. So yes, baby wipes is a must. Trust me, they will help you out. Right, this is two things, because these are two things that I can't live without now, but I have done download without them before, festivals without them. That's a blow-up mattress and a pillow. I used to literally just bring one of those like roll mats, and yeah, that was not good. I have literally brought a blow-up mattress every year since I think I've done that for the first time. And I bring like my own pillow. I know a lot of people use blow-up pillows. I used a block pillow one year, actually. That was quite good. I saw them in Poundland literally today. So if you need a pillow that you can just stuff into your bag, go to Poundland and get one of the blow-up pillows. So yeah, a pillow and a blow-up bed for me is a must, especially obviously sharing the bed with the missus with a double mattress. I think if I slept on the floor for 5 days, I'm not quite sure what would happen to my back. So I wouldn't do it. So yes, I recommend bringing those two things, and I think you will be far more comfortable.
What the hell are you talking about?
Torches / lanterns. Now, I assume that most people will bring some sort of torch or light, or, you know, a lot of people just use the light on their phone, which is fair enough. I always bring like one of those LED lantern things, and we just stick it in the middle of the tent so you can get sort of a good view. And if you're sitting there with your mates in the evening, if it's raining or whatever, it lights up the place quite nicely. But I always take the little battery powered torches as well. I don't use my phone too much because I don't really want to drain my battery, because obviously I do the vlogs and filming and stuff, so I want to keep that sort of battery drainage to a minimum. But I tend to bring, yeah, sort of torches and little lanterns and stuff, so they are always helpful. Obviously, just another thing, it's not necessarily essential, but I think they do help out a lot. So yeah, lanterns / torches. Extra toilet paper. Now that sounds like a little bit ludicrous, because the toilets have toilet paper in them, but they don't always have toilet paper in them. I always find if I bring my own toilet paper, and obviously if you need to go to do a poo-poo, you can just roll that up, stuff it in your pocket, and go in there. Because the worst thing would be if you, and I've done this before as well, you get in there and you're like, oh, there's no paper. I mean, what are you going to do? You even have to go out or go and ask someone for paper. You can't just do it and then not wipe your bum. Well, I'm sure some people do. But let's not talk about any of that sort of weird stuff that people do at Download or any other festival for that matter. But yeah, I think bringing extra toilet paper, just a few rolls. If you're not, someone who uses a ridiculous amount, which some people are. I'm not going to say any names, Vicky. Yeah, so just bring extra toilet paper. It will help you out, and then you won't run out if you do go and have to visit the little girls or little boys' room. Okay, Simon's tip number 2 is bring your own food, just purely to keep your costs down. Now, I've said this before. I've done download on having £20 before. I've had download where I've had like £300, £400 spending money before. I think the best way to do download is to buy food there if you can, but not do that for every meal, because you can rack up a hell of a lot of money at download. And if you want to do it on a decent budget where you can spend a little bit but not spend too much, if you bring your own food for a couple of meals a day, you can change each round. Sometimes I go and get breakfast and a cup of coffee from the van. Sometimes I bring my own stuff. And I think it's good just to do a half festival. Bring food that you obviously like and is good for a festival, and then go to the vans and get this so much fantastic food at download. But it is pricey. It is what it is. It's the supply and demand. People are going to pay that much because that's how much it is. So I just think it's best if you do half, just to keep your costs down, because if you add merch on top of that doesn't even factor in alcohol. If you're in the arena, you really can rack up a huge amount. So bring some food that you can have for some meals, and then if you can afford to, treat yourself to the stuff that's at the vans, because it's a fantastic festival with some amazing food. So yeah, bring your own stuff, save some dosh.
H2O!
Water sucks. It really, really sucks. Water sucks.
No, stop
It
saying
really,
it.
really
You don't mean that.
sucks.
You're bad people.
One thing I don't see a lot of people bringing, and I've probably brought one almost every year, is a water carrier or something that you can put water into. Download was terrible before for water. If anyone went pre 2010, they could probably tell you there was not enough water points and you had to queue like crazy. It's not that bad now. They have them quite well scattered around the festival. So I think a water carrier is essential for me personally. You use it to, you can go down there and brush your teeth, but I like to have it by my tent. Have a drink of water if I'm really, really thirsty, or just wash stuff out, or, make tea or coffee or do noodles or whatever. They are really handy, and you can pick them up for £1 from Poundland. I think I've still got my one from 2019, which I might have to see is okay. I'm sure it is. But yeah, I think a water carrier is a really cool little extra that you should bring just to have that water need you, so you don't have to keep going back and forth to the water points. Another great thing to bring, this is going to make me sound like such a old fogey, but I'm sure a lot of people do the same. Black bags, purely, well, not purely actually, because they have a few uses. One of them definitely to keep your campsite as clean as possible. Yes, back in the day, I was one of those 22, 23-year-old people that would absolutely trash the place, but so would everyone else. No one was really thinking about sustainability and people actually clearing up at that point. Whereas now we tend to have like a big black bag in the middle that we sort of chuck all our stuff into. Some people do the whole festival, like doing it all, putting the crap everywhere, and then they tidy up at the end, which I think is stupid. Just keep it tidy like almost the entire time. But yeah, again, like some people will be like, shut the hell up, man. I'll do what I want. And that's fair enough. But we want to keep our little bit tidy, so we put all the stuff in there. Black bags also come in handy if it's really wet. If it's really wet, like it was in Download 2016 and 19, I tend to put all my clothes and a lot of stuff inside black bags and then in my bag. Because in 2016, our tent got completely flooded and all my stuff was wrecked. Everything. So I think it's best now to put it, if you know it's going to be really bad, put it in black bags. And if the water does get in your tent or everything in there just gets wet in general, you won't have so much soaked stuff. And that will save you. There's nothing worse than a soaking wet sleeping bag or soaking wet clothes that you literally have to put on and wear for an entire day. So yes, I think black bags is definitely an essential for even just for the weather thing, but also to keep your camp nice and tidy. As many portable chargers as you could possibly fit into whatever the hell you're bringing. I bring like 6. You can get half decent ones, but you have to spend a fair bit. But you can get, the little ones that give you maybe one charge of the phone. They do have a charging stations at Download, so you can do that. But me wanting to keep costs down as much as possible, I try and bring my own, obviously charge them all before, and then get plenty of phone charges or camera charges if you're vlogging or any of that stuff. So I recommend bring as many portable chargers as you possibly can. There's always going to be a mate that's like, oh, mine's died, can I borrow yours? And you're like, yeah, okay, you can borrow one of the little ones. Not my good one, not my essential one. So yeah, bring as many as you can, because they will be a savior if you want to film, take photos, or do any of that kind of stuff. Right, I'm going to mash these two things together, and these are things that you can buy at Download. I always find bringing them would be easier, but sunglasses and suntan lotion. I don't know about anyone else, but I'm a squinter. So when it's really sunny, I'm like walking around and I just look like an absolute idiot. So now I make sure I have plenty of pairs of sunglasses with me just in case. But obviously you can buy them from the sellers at Download. I don't know how much they are. Probably not too much, I wouldn't have thought. But suntan lotion, obviously you can see by my beautiful white as hell complexion that the sun and me do not go well together. So I need to be layered up at all times if it's really good weather. I need after sun as well. I'm talking like aloe vera on and all that sort of stuff. But that's just me. Some people might be a bit better in the sun. So yeah, I think suntan lotion is a must. Bring it. I mean, you don't end up using it many years at Download, but sometimes Download weather catches you by surprise and you're like, oh right, now it's just really sunny and I haven't got any lotion. So yeah, make sure you bring those two things to save you if it's nice. Come on baby, it's gonna be good this year. I got a good feeling. yeah, so that's it for this time. I mean, that's all the stuff I think you will need essentially. There'll be obviously a few more things. I haven't gone through everything, otherwise this video would be long. There's some stuff, obviously, bring your own clothes and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, no, I've really actually enjoyed doing this because, like I said, I haven't done it since 2019. I'm so massively hyped for this year. I'm sure everyone, if you're not going to Download Festival, you're going to any other festival and you're watching this video, I know it's been so long since festivals have been properly huge. It's going to be incredible. We're going to have such a good time. All I can think of is that Eric Andre meme of me trying to get into Download. Let me in!
Let me in! Let me in!
That is exactly me at the moment. I'm just so buzzing for it. Like I said, it's like 5 weeks to go. So close. I'm just so buzzing, and yeah, I'm really, really thankful that you guys have watched this video. So I've got loads of download vlogs. I've got a download vlog playlist. So go to my channel, go to playlists, check out all my vlogs from all the other years. I'm going to definitely do one for this year. So thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you guys in the next video.